Everyone, welcome to the show. I have a bunch of updates to share about Donald Trump's myriad legal troubles, all the investigations. So, according to former Congressman and January 6th committee researcher Denver Riggleman, Rudy Giuliani's son, Andrew, was in contact with a high-ranking member of the Oath Keepers. It's a woman named Kelly Sorrell. You guys probably remember, I've talked about her. Sorrell was the temporary leader of the Oath Keepers after the founder, Stuart Rhodes, was arrested for seditious conspiracy in the January 6th case. Sorrell also acted as the legal counsel for the Oath Keepers, and I recently shared with you guys that she was arrested as well. So Riggleman says that the January 6th committee found text messages that were sent back and forth between Sorrell and Giuliani, the younger Giuliani, regarding the 2020 election. He didn't go into details, but remember, Andrew Giuliani, was working for the Trump administration at that time, and we all know the part that his dad played in trying to overturn the election. In addition, Sorrell apparently attempted to text a White House switchboard number. So obviously it didn't go through, it couldn't be delivered, but she did try. Riggleman also revealed in his new book that Republican Senator Mike Lee is the person who was pushing Trump to use Kraken attorney Sidney Powell. On November 9th of 2020, Senator Lee sent a text message to Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, saying that he and other Republican senators met with Powell that night. And he urged Trump's White House to, quote, hire the right legal team and set them loose. Then the following day, Powell actually texted Mark Meadows herself. She texted him directly. It's also being reported that based on documentary footage that was obtained by the January 6th committee, Roger Stone requested a second pardon from Trump. You might recall he was already pardoned by Trump once for crimes, but this second pardon he was requesting was specifically for, or he was requesting it for, his actions involved in January 6th and the 2020 election. And Stone apparently frequently communicated with Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend, Kimberly Guilfoyle. The documentary also shows Stone seemingly calling for violence. This was even before the election. He said, quote, fuck the voting. Let's get right to the violence. Shoot to kill. And shortly after the election, Stone talked about Trump using his power and his position to try to deny the election results, to just proclaim that he won, and then to use his personally installed judges to keep him in power. So this is very similar to things that Steve Bannon and Don Jr. were also saying. In regard to Trump's defamation case from the E. Jean Carroll allegation that he raped her, an appeals court ruled this week that the Department of Justice actually does have a duty to represent Trump because he was a government employee when he denied Carroll's allegations and insulted her. This wasn't unanimous, though. 2 out of the 3 judges ruled in Trump's favor, but one was a dissenting opinion, and he pointed out very chilling and disturbing facts that we all need to pay attention to. He wrote, quote, under this logic, so long as a president looks like he is engaged in conduct that is of the kind he is expected to perform, like speaking to a reporter or attending a government meeting, he is acting in the scope of his employment. But if that were so, then the mere presence of others would neutralize whatever a president did or said, for no president could be held accountable for damage done in front of a microphone or in an official meeting, whether defaming a citizen, exposing classified national security information, or inciting a riot. So Judge Denny Chin is rightfully warning that if the Justice Department continues down this absurd path and continues on with this bizarre idea that Trump, he can't be held personally liable for anything while he held the title of president, or they have to step up and protect him and represent him in court, then how is he going to be held liable for additional alleged crimes like inciting the January 6th insurrection or potentially selling or sharing classified intelligence with other countries? And then what will happen with the civil lawsuits brought by members of Congress or the officers who were attacked at the Capitol? Are we as taxpayers going to end up footing the bill for Trump's defense in those cases? And before the right goes and does a victory lap, just remember that if this is the stance of the DOJ on presidential power and privilege, then those protections will be extended to Dark Brandon as well. Do MAGA supporters really want their tax dollars to be used to cover the legal fees, the defense of, say, a future President AOC or President Rashida Tlaib? Now, one thing that this appeals court didn't rule on was the question as to whether or not Trump can be prosecuted in a defamation case. They've asked a higher court to review the case and make a determination. So we'll see what happens with that. I also have a couple of quick updates to share about his classified document investigation. The documents seized at Trump's Florida property need to be digitized. This is per the court's ruling. And the Justice Department gave Trump's team a list of 5 different vendors from which to choose. But apparently none of them want to work with Trump and his team. In a filing to the special master, the DOJ asked for an extension to procure another vendor because, quote, plaintiff informed us this morning that none of the 5 document review vendors proposed by the government before last Tuesday's preliminary conference were willing to be engaged by plaintiff. They also appeared to take a jab at Trump's failures to pay his debts or his refusal to pay his debts. They wrote, quote, consistent with the appointment order, the government expects plaintiff to pay the vendor's invoices promptly when rendered. And then it's also being reported that Trump's $3 million attorney, Chris Kise, has been benched for some reason. And other attorneys are apparently taking more of a lead role in the classified documents case. I mean, that's what he paid him the $3 million retainer for, supposedly. No one knows why this is happening. And a Trump spokesperson, of course, denied this report. Chris Kise did not respond to a request for comment. So we don't know what's going on, but if I hear any more, I'll let you guys know. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.